1 second. Bear with me if you guys are back in here. Yo, what's up? Okay, so let me get Mickey on call 1 sec. You should hear him, or actually, you might not. We're back, but bear with me. Are you there, Mickey? I think it has to do with the freaking collab cam. We might have to just ditch that for a little bit until we can and go back to doing the Zoom thing until we can figure out why. Just get your Zoom going, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do the charting and the news and everything, and then we'll pull you in here in a little bit. Okay, just pay attention to the stream. Okay. All right, I just had Mickey on the call. We're gonna bring him in through Zoom. Streamlabs has this new collab cam thing that we think that it's been causing bugs. It has been disconnecting quite a bit, but we're back. Mickey will be with us here in about an hour. And one quick sec as I get everything back to normal. Again, these are the ETFs that are being traded right now. That went live today. You can see, should be able to see behind me. Yep. Okay, cool. I'm just making sure I get y'all's chat up here going. I gotta pop it out so I can see you again. Hopefully we don't have that issue again, praying. But in this current state, IBIT was the obviously highest volume traded one at 30 million in volume right now. It actually, that's the number one there. It actually is obviously following Bitcoin price action. All these ETFs are designed around following Bitcoin. So in this case, it's going to be really fun to actually trade these because once like stock options are available, you'll be able to, trade cover calls, sell calls and puts, and also, be able to be involved with Bitcoin via the actual stock exchange. So it being involved in the NASDAQ is really, really cool because we'll be able to trade alongside Bitcoin, not have to pay enormous amount of fees to even pull out any profit that we make. I know that I was trying to think. They're listed on mostly everything, but obviously we went over the whole Vanguard thing. So we'll look at the news here in just a sec. Welcome back to the stream. Sorry about the delay in what happened. I don't necessarily know why Streamlabs crashed, but in this case, we think it's because of the collab cam. So we're gonna just play it safe and not do the collab cam this time. Mickey's gonna come through another source. I just want to make sure that everything else is good to go. I wanted to go to our channel, see that we're on the front. Okay, cool. So welcome back. Make sure if you're new, hit that, hit the subscribe button. Give us a like. Let's get to 100 likes. That's our goal per stream, like always. I got to go back to the live feed so I can see where we're at because I think we're already at 20. Nice, man. Hopefully people are back in it. From the stream earlier. Okay, cool. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. But welcome back. As we get more people in here, we'll continue to talk about what's going on. Obviously, we talked about the Bitcoin ETFs, but I want to talk about CPI. CPI today, as you can see, pretty much hit what was forecasted. Beat just a tad. So based on previous consumer price index up to another 0.2%, which is good. Jobless claims a little less, which is good. Natural gas storage NG today. I didn't see today. It is up. It's up 5%. Makes sense. Got a lot of that cold weather coming through, and that's when it spikes. You can actually trade pretty good based on the weather if you follow it. But yes, we talked about that there deep. We posted that for everybody recently, that Vanguard actually pretty much is not going to offer any of the ETFs, which is kind of crazy in my opinion. For now, it's fine. You still have a lot of old money probably in the $7.2 trillion that they cover. But in this case, I don't see this as a great long-term play for them within the next 20 years. So we'll see through the next 20 years as we're doing these live streams every Tuesday and Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern for 20 years straight. That'd be a pretty cool accomplishment. But we'll see if they ever crack and actually dive into the whole Bitcoin ETF movement that has started. But welcome back to the stream once again. Let's get those likes up to 100, guys. We're at 25 right now. We're really trying to break new records here on our stream every single stream we do. Remember, as you can see right below me over here, I got to remember where it is. LuxAlgo Live, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 1 p.m. Eastern. We are going to probably do random ones eventually. Some's like Monday. Monday, I think, would be a great one to do Monday streams. But overall, yeah, Bitcoin 20 years, 1 million. Probably more than that, right? It was like, I was thinking $1 billion. I was thinking $1 billion. That'd be awesome, right? I was going to look over. There was something else I wanted to touch on. Yeah, Grayscale was promoting already. But the other thing was that we did get a possible update on the banks. The U.S. banks do not think that they think we're going to get some rate cuts. Oh, yeah, and also Microsoft surpassed Apple in the largest company in the world by just market cap, of course. So that's quite an interesting point that's being made. But this is interesting. I can't wait to see the overall volume that gets posted here on the current ETFs. Right now, it's 1.74 billion. Right, so we're hoping we can beat that 2 billion plus, which would be really cool. Then it'd be the highest inflow of money into an ETF ever. So stay tuned for that. I don't know if we have a current update on that yet, and I'll keep you updated if we do. Maybe we'll see if we can get a post. But overall, right now, the breaking news was that Vanguard does not offer that the ETFs, which is kind of strange in my opinion. But I guess we will wait to see if they ever accept it for what it truly is, because we all know it's the future of finance. But in this case, for now, iBit was that first one that we talked about. The majority of the volume, it is down because remember, it trades based off of Bitcoin, right? It's following the Bitcoin. So in this case, from the stage that we're in, and we're about to look at the charts here in just a sec so you guys can see it. But quite an accomplishment today in the crypto world. Very exciting, especially after the crazy hacking news and all that with the SEC. But it was inevitable that they pretty much had to, they just had to accept that it needed to be approved because it technically was already approved. We just had to wait for that. What's up, Punk? Guys, if you are back from a previous stream, we welcome you. Thanks for tuning in yet again. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We are live every Tuesday and Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to be looking over charts, answering questions. We're going to add some really fun stuff along with the overall suggestions that you guys mentioned. But we'll like to see if we can get a nice impulse move after that Bitcoin topped 49K. Do we think it's going to hold 45K? Do we think it's going to continue through 50 here soon? That's kind of the overall question. So let me pull up these charts and we can kind of hop into what we were already talking about here. But in this case, let's take a look at Bitcoin and the current ranking volume ETF that just started being traded today. So here we go. See it. So as you can see, this is iBit, right? Data just came in. It's the 5-minute chart on iBit. You have the daily chart on Bitcoin as of now. Let's optimize that sensitivity for us. You can see we actually wicked up to that 49K there. 49,102 here on Coinbase and came off, right? In this case, obviously, this is following the current price action from market open. So if we were to compare, right, on the 5-minute chart, you can see from the market open here, it has just come off of that. So it's pretty much copying this exact trading, right? So in this case, iBit, selling off, same as Bitcoin. It's there to follow. So, let's see. let's see where it heads in the next few weeks. Something I'm really excited about is the options that come into the IBIT ETF. It's going to be interesting. When do you guys think the options are going to come available? When do you think holders are going to start selling options on this? I think Coinbase, the options were like, man, I think it was like a week. It only took like a week or less. And sometimes it takes a month, but I feel like in this case, for the IBIT ETF, it's going to they'll probably pop up pretty soon. Which would be a fun way to be trading these because we all know the volatility crypto provides. And if IBIT's supposed to follow it accordingly, could have a really nice move there. CPI right now was good. It was good for the US dollar, which usually, of course, when the US dollar, it's good for the USD. Means that the market would come off a little bit. But as you can see with that current news, we did sell off today, right, for the CPI. So it is a healthy move, right? You'll see here on the Dixie that we did have a uptick because of that CPI news. So when CPI beats, you get a move to the upside on the US dollar. But as you can tell on the daily for the US dollar, we've been downtrending quite a bit as the market has, here to pull up, like just SPY in general, as the market let me pull up the daily. This market has been hitting that new all-time high once again. So in this case, it's really good for this, for a healthy retracement, especially after breaking all-time highs and the CPI reporting a beat, right? So we'll see if from that we get any type of reset and then continuation or not. But the big thing today is majority of these Bitcoin ETFs that have come out, right? So that's pretty much what we're going to be looking at. ETF volume, highest volume trader right now is IBIT, right? IBIT is the iShares ETF. We mentioned that earlier, as you can see in the tweet here, and I'll pull that up once again in just a second. We'll look at all of these, right? So again, if you're not following the Twitter, if you want to be constantly updated on what's going on in the market, for the retail trader, we are always posting on our current analysis and what we're looking at in what's going on daily with these markets. So go follow the Twitter at LuxAlgo. Make sure you put those notifications on, and we'd love to get your input. We'd love to hear it. But in this case, iShares Bitcoin, highest volume traded. As you can see here, 30 million on the day so far. It's going to be, wow. That's already an insane amount of volume. If you compare it to, let's say Tesla, right? Tesla right now, 71 million on the day. So Tesla's one of the highest, volume traded ones. Mara obviously taking a massive bit of volume as well today, due to it being, a crypto stock. But IBIT, on first day already getting 30 million in volume, and it's almost, sorry, we're a little past halfway on the day. It's going to be interesting to see how that closes for the overall volume. Second highest volume, let's see, we could look. BitB, let's see. BitB trading at 3 million in volume, a little lower. Actually, quite a bit lower. DeFi, I think the other one would maybe be DeFi. I see very low on DeFi. The other one would probably be ARKB would probably be the other highest one. And there you go. That's 4 million. But again, IBIT's going to be the major. CPI was good for $1, so the market's coming down. Yes, exactly. Yeah, dollar and the market tend to trade opposite, right? Just for a general sense, think it that way. Let me bring up Bitcoin here again. Think about it trading opposite. You said FBTC. So that was, let's see, which one's ranking? Right now we know that iShares is ranking. Grayscale is GBTC. I know that one. Somebody just said GBTC is a scam. Very well could be. Oh yeah, this thing has actually been, interesting enough, has its price action here for a while. Now I don't necessarily, I haven't looked into GBTC too much. I haven't really traded it, but it's cool to see the amount of volume that came in today. US dollar chart is the Dixie DXY. But in this case, GBTC today up only a percent. It's, follows Bitcoin. Let's see here. The other one was Fidelity FBTC that you just said you were in at 13 bucks. And in this case, this is at 13.1. How'd you get FBTC at 13.1 if it's never hit that value? Please enlighten me. Right now we're just looking over. We're just looking over all these cryptos, see which one. 13 million on the FBTC. IBIT's still the most popular, of course. Let's see, Wisdom, Bitcoin W. We're just taking a look at all of these for you guys. But in this case, guys, you can look at the fees around each one of these ETFs and what they're being key street for 24 hours. We should do that at some point. Maybe me and Mickey will tag team the 24-hour stream. I do 12 hours. He does 12 hours. Invesco, BTCO. They're pretty much all trading the same route. I'm looking at the volume. So it looks like Grayscale and the iShares Bitcoin highest ranking right now. HODL is probably my favorite besides Burr. Like, what great names for the overall action for the ticker symbol. Like, absolutely insane. BRRR. I mean, that's incredible. But still very extremely low volume. But they all provide different things. So make sure to go check out, what they provide fee-wise and eventually going to be used for. EasyBC. You can already look at that. I think we actually posted a tweet about it. EasyBC? EasyPC? What's that? Easy peasy. Why couldn't it just be easy peasy? That'd be awesome. That's not a ticker. So, guys, if you're looking for a ticker symbol, easy peasy is probably the best. Did I get that wrong again? Easy BC. That'd be awesome. This case, there you go. I mean, that's actually pretty decent volume as well. But overall, IBIT, highest volume for sure. So definitely be watching this, especially for when options get on the market. In this case, Bitcoin. We topped that high, right? Do the 15-minute here. We topped the high of 49K. This is on Coinbase. Coinbase hit 49102.29. And let me optimize our cents so we know kind of what's going on here. And money flow is coming off, right? So, I mean, this is a technically type of sell the news situation, just because of, people are going to be, some people might have to remove funds from Bitcoin because they want to invest in the ETFs. We can look at Litecoin here in just a sec. Again, yeah, if there's anything you do want to go over, feel free to drop your suggestions in the chat. Happy to do so at some point here as we go through some of the major cryptos. The biggest one that I'm super excited about is we finally got that breakout on Ethereum. You can see Ethereum actually hit, 2,700. Absolutely monster moves. A lot of volatility today, but we did hit the 2,700, which is incredible. Something we've been watching for a very long time. We had, in my opinion, I had a price prediction of the $2,500 first, and that's due to that weekly chart. Biggest thing about the weekly chart is it sitting right here at the these lows that it previously treated as support. So that 2,500 was a price target we were looking for. So long as it blew through that price at an aggressive move, we are more than likely going to see that actually bust through exactly what we got. So in this case, looks really good. So hopefully we can continue this uptrend on Ethereum, because this is something that I've been waiting on for quite a while. So in this case, I want to pull up as well. One sec. Let's do a visible range profile and bring this sucker down. Let's do like 200 rows. And then 40%. Here we go. So you can see we had our value range down here on the volume side, right? So this is actually, let me get, can I get, I mean, it's going to be roughly the same, but session profile. I guess session won't work on the weekly. Anyway, this is fine. So if we were to look at this, you can see the amount of liquidity that was spared at these levels, right? So in this case, just in this current range from these moves with that majority volume trading through that 1600 level, now we pretty much don't have a peak yet again until that 3K. So could be a great target point is that 3000 level, just because of the lower volume traded here. Usually it'll trade through these lower volume nodes and then rest somewhere at a peak. So next peak is sitting up there around the 3K mark, which makes a lot of sense, right? Very psychological level on the 3K mark for Ethereum. If we were to pull up the order blocks as well, I want to see if we have any resting order blocks to target to. And there you go. That is essentially, that was the overall target, similar to Bitcoin that we talked about, that has completely destroyed, right, on in this same type of chart setup. If we go to this weekly chart, you can see here it blew through that order block, but we are treating it as resistance right now. So notice what's happening at this order block is actually also a volume peak that occurred in the past. So it's something we're definitely keeping an eye on up here at 47,000. We do want that order block to be fully liquidated and actually mitigated, which means price closing over the high of 48K and then hitting, then we might see a setup to hit the 50,000 mark. But in this case, it's, you know, based on the ETFs happening, we're kind of just coming off of this order block. So always taking those higher time frame order blocks into consideration, especially here on the weekly. So for now, really like where we're at. I do want to set up, if we go to like a 4-hour chart, you can see here a lot of chop in this range. I do want to continue to set up over this high here. You can see a volume shelf actually sitting there too. So it's a great level to consider based on the support already forming. I'm not a big fan of it wicking this many times off of this, but in this case, with the hype around it and the volume coming into Bitcoin and these ETFs, it's very possible that it does hold up around above at least 45K. So we'll see if we can get that to continue. I would do IBIT there, Robert. IBIT, most highly traded, highest volume is IBIT. So I'd do that probably. But again, go and do your research on these ETFs. They're all different. They all provide different things. You can, I think we do have a tweet somewhere that links you to everything that they provide. But if we don't, just Google it. Just say, you know, what is IBIT? What is, you know, you can go to our Twitter right now and you can see which ones of these. I could search, you know, Grayscale Bitcoin. Like what is Grayscale Bitcoin? And, you know, how is it being, what are the fees on it? Stuff like that. 50K today. 50K today is not, I mean, it's possible. It's one of those things where we're still stuck in this range. So I don't like that it didn't find support here on an hourly above this high of 47,000. So I'm necessarily not going to be eyeing 50K until we see, you know, an expansion back over this volume range here, right? We have a very high volume node that formed between 46K and this, you know, you can just see the range, but here's actually the profile of it. But in between 47K and 46K, and honestly, we should make this up volume. Let's make green, and then make this our dark red or something. Nah, it's too red. Or black. Up volume black. Nah, it's not. There we go. Do like that dark gray. And then down volume be red. Up will be the dark gray. Down volume red. Pop. There you go. So there you go. Up is gray. So in this case, remember, we're sitting at this volume. We're still within this high volume node. So the support being formed is very, very solid here. Let me take off actually the smart trail. The biggest thing I like seeing too is if we look at the Neo Cloud on the 1 hour here, we have broken below it, but we have shown key support, especially after before that big run to 49K. So in this case, you can see, where does the Neo Cloud line up with? It lines, the high of the Neo Cloud lines up with these highs as well as the top of that high volume shelf. So if we can get through that, you can see here, this low volume node, we can easily pump back through that. I think a lot of buyers would step in there. But In this case, here you go. Ethereum, we talked about this. Ethereum is following, right? It's following the Neo Cloud very, very well. It's also bouncing off of this, what's it called? Order block. So we have a decent volume order block here with a peak of volume that has been trading through this area. Not necessarily would I buy just yet. If it does clear the top of that Neo Cloud, I do like it for a continuation. So in this case, finding that support, clearing the top of this Neo Cloud, 2627 would be ideal. And then you could see here when the volume falls off, if we were to just zoom in even more, and I wonder if I can get the, here, hold on, give me 2 seconds. There you go. Here's our volume range here. So there's your peak volume. If it gets back over the high of this, then you would probably see a decent amount of expansion from that level. So we'll see if we can kind of get over, sorry, this is going based on the current view. But in this case, yeah, there you go. For this range here, somewhere above that recent higher high that it set, 2656 would be really good. We can look at Litecoin, yes. But in this case, Ethereum, it's riding the Neo. See, notice down here. I'm going to take off signals and overlays for now and the volume profile. So 1 sec. So here you go. For the Neo, it's something we really like to look for. We like to see price trade above that Neo Cloud, like you're seeing here. Price is trading all the way above it, above it, above it. See, it continues. Price finally reset on this, right? It's resetting. If it holds like this candle, let me just remove this again. If price holds like this candle, once again, on the Neo Cloud, so long as it's holding solid like this, I do think we get a retest of that high. I don't like that this thing retraced as much as it did because before, you know, this came back to support. In this case, it did come back to support, but it did attempt to break the low of the Neo as this one did not. So we're going to have to see some aggressive buying coming into this on the 1 hour to retest probably that high. But I have a lot more faith in Ethereum continuing than I do in Bitcoin on the 1 hour chart. But in this case, support is strong on both, so we'll see if it actually does want to continue. So, Litecoin. Where's our Litecoin? Litecoin, same type of situation. A lot of these altcoins were running very well. But if we look at the daily here, still stuck in a bearish trend, right? Still stuck in a bearish Neo Cloud as well. So overall, if you were to be somebody that just bought this in the low 60s, it's, you know, probably the price point which you like and would probably want to stick with. But in this case, as you can see here, I don't like it on a long-term scale until it breaks through this recent swing high. So in this case, recent swing high sitting here. We are currently in a high volume node as well, just within this range. If I were to just mark it off right here, you can see, hopefully it stays. Okay, the high volume node jumped to the bottom, but you can still see based on the volume peak, it wasn't the highest. But if I were to just take off that side there, maybe we'll see it a little different. But in this case, look at the peaks on here. Overall, with the volume here, I'm going to just take off the price action concept there for a second. But notice here, competing volume nodes sitting right up at in the mid 70s. So if we break through like 74, hold that support, you're probably going to finally see a nice bullish signal. And then maybe get a setup somewhere off of that. But again, I'm not necessarily looking for an entry if I were to actually buy this here soon until we get probably into the 80s. So on the weekly chart, though, I mean, look at this. Very nice level in which we're in, right? We have a very high volume node that we've been sitting in on the weekly. So $100 price. If we can clear the 80s, I like a lot more to consider that. As you can see here, because of this high volume that's been trading, this is a core value area that people enjoy trading it, right? Price wants to be sitting and trading as much as it can in this value area. So if it does come out of that 82, you might actually see a decent amount of buying action coming into possibly that $100 price point. So I would really focus on 82. Jockey said, didn't Bitcoin reverse downward for retracement after the 6.8 fib in the last cycle? Bitcoin is now around the same level. Time to sell. I think it just, if we can actually clear that support that we've been showing for quite a while, I'm still liking Bitcoin for a continuation, right? We did talk about this, but also we're inside of a key order block right now on the weekly. So this is definitely a level in which people are going to consider probably taking some off if they're long, especially with the ETFs coming out. There's definitely a consideration that we might get, some sell-off from here. IBIT really just trading around here for those of you that are joining because of the ETF news, but right as of now, just trading a little low right now because it's not really going anywhere. Of course, for Bitcoin, obviously you can see here on the 1 hour doing about the same thing, just trading sideways. So in this case, if we were to consider a fib on the 1 hour, you'll see. And let me take off this. Let me take off the order blocks really fast. We're to consider on the 1 hour the 618, right? Bounced for this pullback. It's bouncing right now. But again, if we were to actually continue this trend, I wanted to get us over that Neo cloud, which is sitting at 47,000. So if Bitcoin on the 1 hour here can get over that Neo, we're still in very bullish price action, or sorry, bullish candles here, as you can see by the coloring. This is nothing that I'm just going to consider exiting just yet due to the support that it's been showing in this range. So for now, I do like Bitcoin to the upside on an hourly 4 hour chart. Let me pull it up. Very, very volatile. But notice on the 4 hour, what we talked about before, I love when price stays above the Neo. If you're in for a long-term trade and not a short-term trader, this is a great level to just hold. You're not wanting to get out. In this case, if Bitcoin does drop below 44K and it breaks that Neo cloud, I might consider a downside move, maybe back to its next support level, which was somewhere around the 41,000, the 40K mark. But for now, so long as it holds above that 45,000, which is a previous higher high, right? Previous higher high on Bitcoin, holds that 45K, there's no reason to be selling this. So that's what I would really focus on for now, is that 45K mark. And honestly, I should have this zoomed out a little more here. I'm going to just bring IBIT over here so we just have it sitting there. In this case, let's take a look at Solana. See how it got affected. It's back over 100. Remember, we were looking at it yesterday at 99. It's been holding very nicely. And here you go. This is a good reason why I was saying on Bitcoin, something to be, let's adjust this, to be considering with Bitcoin, right? So in this case, Neo Cloud flipped, right? On Solana, we had lower lows getting formed. And look, I could even put that in for you guys on the price action concepts. I can dive into these lower lows. I'm going to go ahead and tick off the order blocks for now, so we can see them. So look at this. Price hitting lower low, lower high, right? Lower low, lower low. Okay. So in this case, it was trading at, in a downtrend state on Solana for a while now. But notice, and just to kind of get these out of the way for now, I'm going to take off the signals. But notice this. Price tried to break out, right? Try to continue. Try to break out. We had a change of character. But what is telling you otherwise? It's that Neo Cloud. Neo Cloud is something I really like to watch when it comes to these bigger trends. And in this case, this would have had me to stay patient. Neo Cloud did not fully flip. When I see this breakout, I see a change of character. I see a higher low that's printed on here. I do consider a long position if price wants to hold and if the Neo Cloud tries to flip, right? 2.4 billion supposed to go into ETFs today. If you look at the news already, there was 1.75 million that already got put into the Bitcoin ETFs, and that was earlier. That was 3 hours ago. So we'll get updates on that currently and see if maybe it is over $2 to $4 billion getting put into. But you can see here, 31 million in volume already on the IBIT ETF, which is the largest ETF of all of them. So. But in this case, for Solana, like we were just talking about, if I were to consider this a trade back to the highs, you need to find that support, and you need to show the Neo Cloud wants to actually flip over like this, as in it's continued to step up. Notice here, it never stepped back up, it stepped back down as it broke this recent swing. Once it broke that recent swing point, it sold off. But look in this case right now, the Neo is starting to step back on Solana. Neo is starting to step back here. So in this case, I would want to break back out of this high, show support over this swing high. Then I'm considering a continuation back to Solana's highs there, right? So that's something I really, really want to look for here on Solana. Right now, 102 would be that price point in which I want to see a good breakout. For now, you see lower high, right? That formed on that got printed on that into a higher low. That's a really good sign. You do have, an uptrend forming on the lows. And in that case, maybe we get a nice continuation. Look at this as well. The bearish money flow was pretty strong for a while here on the oscillator. But notice what we're seeing is on the lows here, it's also trending up. So seeing that too, if that money flow comes off, it turns bullish like it did back here, like this. This is exactly what we want to see, okay? So if I were to take this, here you go. So notice this chart formation here, and let's compare it to what we see now on Solana, right? So in this case, like we talked about, we were in that downtrend. This is the same type of situation that we're seeing now. We're hitting lower lows, right? We got a lower low signal here, and then from this lower high, we also have a lower low signal here, but this actually is from that low a higher low. So coming off of this, notice what happens, right? This is exactly what we want to see on Solana going on right now. Price breaks that previous swing high with that change of character. We do wait in this moment because there's nothing to you never don't want to be impatient, right? You want to be patient. You want to see a confirmed support. If you were to start your position, this is where you would start your position, is once price forms above that previous lower high, right? Price forms support on the Neo cloud, trades above it. Now, if you're trading opposite the bearish Neo, but it's on the upside of it, it is considered a very strong bullish trend that might be coming into the market. So in this case, Solana breaks back out, but look, it guarantees a reset. It resets, finds support on the Neo, and then that's when you get your impulse. So in that case, that's what we're looking for right now on Solana. We're looking for a breakout of the Neo and this previous high. We want to see Solana trade above this Neo high, right? Like this. And then we want to see the Neo cloud flip to blue, which is a bullish Neo cloud. Once that bullish Neo cloud gets flipped, then we either look for a retrace or we enter heavier, right? So in this case, if you do see this breakout again, it finds support above the Neo. We know at that case the bulls are in control at that point, and we might want to start sizing it into a position. IBIT currently, as you can see here, is actually trying to continue, which is cool. We'll see if it does. Not enough data to consider the current price action actually on this. As you can see, even when I enable the Neo cloud on IBIT, it doesn't pop up just yet. But in this case, we'll see here. Maybe we can get back to 27 plus on that. But in this case, Solana, if we can find support over 102.84, if you have sold out from these highs, that would be the price in which you might want to get back in and then look for that move back through the highs yet again. So for that, not too bad. Coinbase today, as you can see, we're down 6%. Obviously, that's following the current news. And also, people are going to take money out of Coinbase. They're going to throw it into these ETFs. So it makes a lot of sense. So let's see, on Solana, again, for that weekly chart. Was it the weekly? No, we're looking at the 4 hours. So that's a lower time frame setup. If we look at the daily, though, you'll see we are currently rejecting and setting another lower high on the daily. But again, it all comes down to, what we see on all the charts. If this were to reject here, obviously what would happen? The 4 hour would fall off and break that recent higher low. So in that case, on the daily, that would sell off here. Then we would consider more short than long. But for the long case, that's exactly what I want to see. I want to see a breakout, hold above 102, and then I think we could reset. But in this case too, if we were to pull up, oscillator has fully reset, but we also are seeing a very large bull flag, right? This is a very large bull flag forming. It has, so in these bull flags as well, guys, actually, if we were to pull a fib from the higher low here, you'll see we're bouncing off that 50% retracement. If some people like to pull them off of that breakout higher low, and in that case, 618. But notice, if I were to pull both fibs, it doesn't matter. Both fib retracements line up, right? The 5 and the 618 line up just fine, so it really doesn't matter. It's still bounced off of that golden pocket. So it's definitely in my opinion, way more bullish at the moment. But again, seeing that we are trading and rejecting that NEO right now, I'm neither short or long in this case. So we definitely wait for Solana to show us what direction, and then we execute. So a lot of potential on either side here. I do like it a little more bullish, but we do wait until that actually confirms that it wants to be bullish. But we are about 30 minutes into the charting. What do you guys want to look at? I know some of you did say you want to look at certain charts earlier. I want to make sure that, I know we covered Litecoin. Somebody really wanted Litecoin. We can go look at, someone said baby Gronk coin. I don't even know if that's even something worth Grok, baby Grok, which is BitGet. Yeah, in this case, this is not something that is really honestly worth even looking at. But actually the volume is not terrible. But notice, the data is so skewed because of the trading volume that there's just nothing to even analyze, right? Somebody want to say Bonk. Bonk is probably a better one to be looking at because it is available on TradingView now. Or sorry, on Coinbase. So I definitely would look at this one. In this case, NEO is not forming on the 4 hours. Not enough data yet. Let's look at the 1 hour. There you go. Check this out. So this is why we love the NEO cloud so much. Now, if I were to pull a Fibonacci, why would I need to pull a Fibonacci when the NEO cloud is going to act as that 50% retracement, right? It's also lining up with the highs there. Bounced right off that 50% retracement after that breakout run, and then it continued, broke a new high. In this case, look at the stair step. Beautiful stair steps. It's holding. And then this is why we say when it's trading inside that NEO cloud to be patient. Wait for the breakout. Wait for support above the NEO, right? In this case, it didn't fully break out, which is something we would want to see before this continues. But it is currently holding over that previous resistance that we had here on Bonk. But as soon as it breaks out of that NEO, it's you can usually get a nice scalp, especially if you're looking at a higher time frame like this. Like in this case here, traced out, busted out of this on the 1 hour. If you were to even take a long here, you still had that second hour with the leg up. In this case, long here, boom, second hour leg up. You can use that on a lower time frame to be taking your trades. So in this case, beautiful stair stepping happening on Bonk. Great price action. Hopefully we do get a continuation based on what we're seeing. The one thing I don't like is the fact that we're showing two highs here. If I were to pull this up though, here's another great reason to why this area was such a great level to be trading due to the high volume node. We're currently still in a high volume node. Not as high as this, obviously, so that's going to print that value range. But in this case, look at how close this high volume node is. So long as it's above this shelf, there's more than likely action that's going to come in to continue this higher. So we'll see. A lot of volume is starting to form here around the highs. So if it can break back through that, I mean, it's pretty much no man's land. We're going to see a little bit of action coming through here. If we were to pull back here, your next peak, right, would be that 1910. So that would be the target if it were to break out. Let's see, BNB. Yes, let's go look at BNB. We can look at Rune as well. TIA, BNB, USD. Look at Binance. Binance 1 hour. It's gonna load. So this is good. I do like this. I'm gonna go ahead and, for one, here you go. High volume node yet again, bouncing off of, right? Same here. A lot of action came down into this, bouncing off of. But what does that line up with? It lines up with previous resistance. But what's really intriguing is the fact that the NEO cloud is flipping in this current state. But if I were to pull a fib, once again, from these highs, you'll notice it's bouncing off the 50% level. The NEO cloud has flipped. I do like this for a continued bullish move on the 1 hour chart at this current moment. It's something, though, I would consider watching this 3029. 303 is probably going to be a better target to have for that breakdown. So 303 would be my overall watch for this continued move. So if you are long in this above 300 or below 300, 303 would be my structure that I would keep an eye on. It did break it on a wick here, but body close is really the more important part. So let me see here. On the daily, though, daily looks great. There's something on the daily that's fantastic, that I really like so far that's buying back. The only thing I don't like is, hold on. The only thing I don't like is the fact that we have purple candles. So that price action did kind of settle off a bit. But if we were to pull, a fib from these lows, you'll see here it's bouncing off the 382. But look, if we adjust the fib once again from the most recent higher low that got triggered there, you'll see here that lines up. Both 382s line up in somewhat of a gap here, but still showing that the 382 is support. Either way, it's showing that those are lining up. So we really do like it off of this level. And what I talked about before with the Neo cloud, my favorite thing is to see price trading above the Neo. If price is trading above that Neo cloud, I like it for that direction, right? So it's a bullish Neo, so I like the bullish price action. If you look here, we go back here on Bonk, trading within the Neo. Don't like it yet. Breaks out. Look, if I were to just trade Bonk, goodness gracious, BNB. If I were to just hold this position once it breaks the Neo, right, and confirms that it broke, look at the price action I would have been in until this thing comes back to come inside of the Neo cloud here, right? It comes inside right there. So if I were to consider, a possible trade setup off of this, and this is what we mean by trading outside of it, right? Once it's confirmed out of this, let's just say here, your exit point would have been right as it comes back in to the Neo here. In this case, you would have, the stop is going to be up to you. You would look at it on a lower time frame, in my opinion. But essentially, if you were to put it at the high of this candle, so 1.61 there if you were to trade through when the Neo hits. But a lot of you would probably target a 2-to-1 ratio. In that case, you had a max profit of 266. So if you were to just max hit 2-to-1 here, with your stop above that candle close, even below the Neo, which in this case, you could have even taken your trade here with a stop loss above these swing highs, or these lower highs. But in this case, if you wanted confirmation, let's say you took your trade here and you still put your stop loss above this candle close, or open, sorry, you still would have ended up hitting that 2-to-1 ratio within, honestly, the first few hours nearly. The first few days. So in that case, you had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days would hit that 2-to-1 just off of holding, and when it's holding below the Neo trend. So in this case, that's what we like seeing on the bull side. So bull case, you have a old school bull flag forming. You have lower lows, you have higher lows forming. Price is holding above the Neo. Really do like this bullish as of now. There's no reason to be considering a sell just yet on BNB. Now, for those of you that are day traders, that's a little different. Now, I'm not talking about day trading, whether you should sell or you should buy this. I'm talking about you long-term holders right now. And the daily BNB, it's a hold. Considering everything that we're looking at right now, BNB, long-term, this is a hold. You could target, your upper swings here. Let's see if there's any order blocks sitting as well that we would want to target for now. And you can see here, another great reason why order blocks are good to have it in your playbook. Because in this case, if you were long via this breakout here, the Neo flip, you could have considered a 2-3 day swing, maybe a weekly swing, and cashed out at the order block, which is something that's sitting up here. But what I really like about this order block is something we talk about all the time, is we do have a large number of sellers from this previous level that's pulling from, right? When you see a large number of sellers, we could consider at this level, especially, let's see if the volume profile lines up with that too, which it should. Get close to it, should be a peak. Once it adjusts, there it goes. So you have peak volume sitting here where it's already finding support, as well as here. So as you can see up here, a lot of low liquidity, which means price should move pretty easily through that level if it does break out. But because of this order block showing there's more sellers from where it came from, this could mean that so long as this retests again, sellers might be exhausted, buyers should step in, drive it through that price point. So for now, that's what I would look for, is the 332 for a breakout and hold, and then you get that continuation. But for where we're at, looking really solid on the long-term bull run, right? So that's what you would want to look for on the BNB chart in this current state. If it trades back into the Neo, though, consider getting out, but I wouldn't fully consider getting out until you see a retest of this high, right? And guess where that lines up? Bottom of the Neo cloud. So in this case, looking actually pretty solid in this current state. We'll come back to that on next Tuesday when we go over the charts yet again. We'll see how it played out. In this case, let's jump over to, we got about 20 minutes here. He wants NQ and the CL. I know we can look over those, Nathan, here in just a second. I wanted to look at, somebody mentioned something, where was it? Crude oil. Okay, crude oil. People are asking crude oil. Yes, okay. We're going to look over here now. We're going to look over crude oil. We're going to look over the NQ, and we're going to look over gold, okay? Because gold obviously is super popular. Let me take a quick sip here. I'm going to move over my, let's see if we got any breaking news while I've been analyzing here. Nothing, yeah, nothing coming out. I bet 32 million there. All right, let's start with crude oil. Had a few suggestions on crude oil. Crude oil is something I do trade a lot personally, besides like very high volume cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana. I do trade crude oil quite a bit, and it's something that I consider more easily predictable based on the economy and obviously the crude oil numbers that we get every week. So in this case, for now, price action base, we're in once again a very high volume node. If I were to pull out and show price action from 2022, you'll see here extreme high volume node that we're in. So this is something that we consider. Okay, a price point in which we don't obviously want to see if we were to sell off would be that 67. That 67 level or even 68. If we get below that, we'll probably see some pretty aggressive selling coming through that level. In this current state, quarter one, usually for crude oil, in this case, crude oil numbers on quarter one, especially production-wise, we're predicting, and what we've been seeing for everybody's prediction is going to be less than what we were seeing into the end of the year. So because we would see crude oil production down, that means demand would go up, which means price would increase in value. So in this case, for now, sitting in the 70s, I think is really good value for crude oil in the short term. We have heard rumors about the oil production getting ramped up in 2024, which means the value of crude oil would end up going down for the year. So we will be paying attention to that as we're trading. But notice here, a lot of trading volume in the 70s. In this state, on the daily here, we would want to really break out of 76. We want to see a really big move. In that case, that's that previous lower high, right? But here you go. We pull up our price action concepts. We see the order blocks. Clearly, 68, very strong support so far. It's bounced off there once. It's bounced off there twice. I currently think, let's go to the 4 hour here. We are in a range. We're in a bearish Neo cloud. If we can get out of 73, I think we're going to see a easy retest of 75, 76. We are setting higher lows in this state. Hopefully we can get to that continuation through that. I do like it. I'm going to take these off so it's not as crowded. But this price action super sideways at the moment. So it's not anything that I'm long, anything I'm short on. I will say on a daily time frame, you're way better off swinging long. Risk to reward is a lot greater on the long side. Right now, a long entry would be somewhere in the 70s, though. You know, that's where your core value is sitting. So that's something that I would want to watch for. But look, on the 4 hour, if you are in a long position, it is worth a hold right now because we're continuing to set higher lows, right? We're kind of squeezing, right? We're squeezing a bit into this wedge here, which means we can head in either direction at the moment. But for now, based on the overall money flow and look at the overall oscillator trend here, it looks to me like with the decrease after that sell-off the other day, we got back up. With the decrease in bearish money flow, we are lining up for some bullish money flow to come into the market. So we'll see if that money flow comes in. But again, we need to break that 73.80, 74 mark to actually consider a nice move to the upside. If I were to pull up the volume profile just for this range, look where the value range is, right? So the value range is dead center of where we're at, right? We have very core value range sitting here, high volume node right here. So if we were to break out of this high volume node, we could possibly see a lot more buying pressure coming in above the 73, 74 range and then retest that order block. So in my opinion, right now, so long as we can get over that 73 price point, I like it to 75 pretty quickly. I think we're going to break out 74. I think that when that break comes, or if it comes here soon, we won't have to suffer through this choppy price action. We'll just see a pretty big impulse up to that next level there. In this case, though, if we were to break and set a lower low here to the downside, we would have break out of this small little uptrend we got on the lows. Then again, I think you get that impulse to this order block down here in the 68 level, as you saw on the daily, right? So in this case, it's really waiting to see how it trades out of this high volume node, because price is going to sit there majority of the time until somebody drives that imbalance to the upside or downside. So we do have to wait for that imbalance to get settled. In this case, though, seeing where we're at, if you look at the daily here, you have, swing low, you have a lower low, and now you have a higher low. This is pretty much a nice reversal setup. In this case, it's not a very balanced head and shoulders, obviously, because the head and shoulders you want to see at the same level as this higher low, somewhere down here. But again, it's still an overall indication that a reversal might happen. So keep an eye on it. As long as it's holding these 70s, I think we could see a nice bounce short term, just due to quarter one and the production being a little bit down compared to the rest of the year. So we'll see come the end of this quarter if we do get a jump to 78. In that case, yeah, that would be the target. Would be either this swing high, 75. After that, 78 would be that target. Next up, that was for crude oil. We wanted to look at got about 12 minutes here, and then we're gonna bring Mickey on. It is gonna take a minute for me to get him on the stream, so you'll just have to bear with me as we load him in. I actually, I might, let me see something. One second, I'm gonna send a message to Mickey here. Let me, actually, I'm gonna start a call with him. Let's get him in here. Mickey, and we'll look over at NQ here, real quick. Hey, Mickey, you there?
Yo.
Yeah, so I think for the sake of time, I'm going to send you a new link for the collab cam, which is pray it works, because it'll be really quickly to just add you to the stream. And then come next stream, we'll go ahead and just do the Zoom call and worry about it then. Okay?
All right, sounds good. Yeah,
so about 12 minutes here, we'll get you in, okay?
All right, cool, man.
All right, see ya.
All right.
All right, so NQ. And okay, Brad said, when you say high volume node, does the number of levels that you enter make a difference? Is that divided by the number of zones you're showing? So pretty much it's straightforward. Don't overcomplicate it. So a high volume node essentially is where price, you could think of it as a magnet level. It's where price wants to come back to before it considers another kind of support or resistance in a way. When price gets into these high volume nodes, it definitely wants to, exchange hands more. So there's gonna be high volume being traded back and forth at these levels. When it exits these nodes, which if I were to pull back, like, let's see here. Let me see. If I go back like on the NQ here, see if we can get an example. So, I mean, here's a great example. So when it exits this node here, right? High volume node formed here, okay? When it busted through this node, look what happened. There was not a bunch of liquidity sitting up here. So price just extended, right? It just kept going. Oh, no, I'm talking about the volume profile. You can do it in correlation with the order blocks for sure. But in this case, We're talking about just the high volume nodes on the volume profile. So in that case, yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry about that. But for now, yeah, the percentages, high volume levels. You can compare them too with a volume profile, and in this case, let me see here. We could pull up a TPO chart. I'm not going to do that because it's a little distracting. Fixed visible range. I wish we could get. Let's do this. Session volume. We do session here, and then we can do. Let me take it to the right. So in this case here, you can also see. If I go to 5 minute, if it'll let me. Not in the NQ. Let's start with the daily. Actually, this doesn't take too long to load. If it'll load for us. What was that? I was on the 1 hour, wasn't I? Yeah. You'll see the order block line up. There you go. Boom. You'll see the order block here lining up with that high volume area, right? So if I were to just pull this in like this, we bring it down to inputs. Let's do 40%, even lower, honestly. We want to see the majority of the volume on the day. So in the 1 hour here, price coming out of this closing lower, right? If I could send this to back. For the volume profile here, if you see here price closing below that volume range, look at the impulse sell-off because liquidity was very low on that downside. So comparing this with this order block, notice in this case, the order block was sitting at 54%. You have 684,000 in volume at that high. Well, it matches up with that high volume node. And because this is a little top heavy here, when it breaks out of that and hits this low side liquidity, it's going to just flush through it, which is exactly what we got here. And I wish I could just... I'll have to pull up a way to, yeah, the placement on these is crap. TradingView with their volume profiles. We have a few volume profiles that we have created. I have to just go through and figure out which ones that we like. In this case, NQ, or which ones that would be really good to pair for. Same thing. We talked about NQ. Guess what? On the dailies, trading still above that Neo Cloud. I still like it on the bull side. Still a bull type situation. We don't have a lower high that's been fully formed yet, right? This is potentially a lower high sitting there, right? So in that case, if that lower high gets formed, I will consider a bear case once we've entered that Neo Cloud yet again. But for now, still extremely bullish on the NASDAQ. In this case, though, the NASDAQ has fully reset. Look at that. Reset on the oscillator. Money flow is sitting there, and it's still forming higher lows, right? So if those higher lows are being formed, if a lower high is set, then we can consider looking for possibly a retracement. But for now, I'm still extremely bullish on the NQ. For the 1 hour time frame, you can see here, guess what? Money flow is still bullish, right? Still bullish, still increasing. It did just come to a oversold territory on the oscillator matrix, right? On the hyperwave, oversold. It dropped below 20 and it triggered back up. The Neo Cloud did come back to a bearish state, but let's see if it comes out of this bullish, right? So if that's the case, if it comes out of this bullish, you could even see here on this fib from this recent swing, bounce below the 618. Let's bring a fib down here. Did we get a full? Are we off the 382? Did we start our bounce off the 382? And we did. So we actually were to pull this properly from the actual swing low here from this recent downtrend. Look what it bounced off, the first level of the golden pocket. And guess what? That lined up with previous resistance. So the NQ here, what I want to see now is with the money flow intact still, full reset looks super strong with this pretty even reset on this. Trend strength still above 60 or still above 50%, which I like. I want to see some bullish candles come into this. Right now it's still purple, so I'm still considering the short side, but I'm not considering it yet. Okay, so if we can break over that 16,950 level, wherever these highs are sitting, off that imbalance that it pushed to the downside, then I like it back through that high. So we'll see how it ends up here, end of day and going into the end of the week. Somebody said we got about 4 minutes here. Oh yeah, let's go to gold. Gold for sure. We talked about gold on Tuesday if you were here, right? And here you go. This is why you don't want to fight the trend, right? Right now I have default settings on these, right? So on the indicators is my or for the most part default. I have let's see. Yeah, nothing other than like the monochrome deal on the price action concept market structure. But let's take a look here on the gold, right? Just broke this swing point, right? Just broke that low. New low has been set on gold. If we were to come back from where we were on Tuesday, we talked about this bearish trend that was continuing, right? So we were still bearish on gold. If we were to dive into like a lower time frame, like the 15-minute, this is where you would probably want to just trade, the range highs and lows. But in this case, that's something that, especially for gold, it moves well on high time frames. It's something you always want to consider on gold is the higher time frames, trading and swinging longer term stuff. But again, comparing the 4-hour and the 1 hour, still setting lower lows and lower highs. If I go back to the 4-hour, you can see here lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. That's something I would want to have broken out of to have that continuation, but we didn't. We kept rejecting it and we sold off. What is happening though? You tell me what's happening. Trading inside. Look what happened when it flipped, right? Neo's flipped here. We're trading outside the Neo, still below the Neo. So extremely bearish when it's below the Neo and it's trading lower. We pull up the price action concepts order blocks. We can see change character, break structure, break structure. It's very proper price action. We really like that. If we pull up a session volume profile, in this case, I would need the other one. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. But in this case, once again, if this low here, this high low gets flushed, which it pretty much did, I'm looking, guess what? Massive imbalance here, right? And guess what I can also do? If I want to actually see that imbalance, I can go into the price action concepts indicator. I can hit FVG here. I'm going to change here in a sec. Let's let it pop up. Hello. There it is. Boom. See that there? You know what? It doesn't even, I don't even need to filter. But in this case, look what happened with this stair step. If I take off, let's take off signals and overlays. This is something I also like to look at. Especially when the price action is super clean, right? Because in this case, I mean, if we even look at this, it's honestly gorgeous. It's such a beautiful chart. You'll see here, we go to retest fair value, and guess what? Fair value gets rejected. Fair value is always where price wants to come back to. You could see fair value when you see those high volume nodes. It's just levels in which price wants to go and collect liquidity as much as it can before people drive it higher or lower. So in this case, as you can see, price retraced, right? Price retraced and fully liquidate that order block after it filled that imbalance, and it went lower. Price still trying to come back to this imbalance, but look, where was the next level that it's trying to fill, right? We're filling out this imbalance right now. We just entered it yet again. But this is a bearish trend entering a bullish imbalance. So a lot of leftover buyers were sitting here. So in this case, we would like to see where those buyers are going to step in. What you could see, if we were to look into the future here, because we're inside this bullish imbalance and we've had a bounce before on gold off this level of 2020, which is what we were talking about. We want to see price hit 2020 on Tuesday. We talked about that. Then we want to see support at 2020 because look, In this case, you could have an inverse head and shoulders, right? If this were to occur, you could have an inverse head and shoulders. But what we would need to see, right, is something like this. If this were the inverse head and shoulders setup that we would like to see, it's like, boom, there you go. There's your neckline, right? You got shoulder, shoulder, and then we can continue. But this is where it has to form. You could continue to get a head here. The head could form a little bit more, and then it could go up and retest that before it wants to continue. But because we're in that imbalance now, that's what could happen. But we don't see that yet. We see a new low. So if we see a new low, we consider this is still a shorter term on the 4-hour, of course. So it's probably about a week or so. But shorter term is still extremely bearish on gold for the time being. But we are entering that bullish imbalance, so we do want to see if buyers do take this level or not. If they don't, then again, we can probably target the swing low back to 1978. So it's a matter of seeing as if we can get bought back from that or not. So we'll keep an eye on this level, 2020. We talked about being that level we're watching for continuation. But I think it's time to bring in Mickey. I'm going to invite him over, so bear with me here. Let's try this again. Hopefully we do not fail. I'm going to see as he joins here. We'll look at AMD. Somebody asked for AMD. Look at that. Guys, we're at 94 likes. Let's get up to 100 likes. If you are new here, welcome. If you've been to the stream before, welcome back. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. We are now streaming every Tuesday and Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern. So stay tuned and come back for those 2 days. We might eventually stream even more each week, but if you're not a part of the Discord as well, we do make an event in there in which everybody can see when they're in that Discord. It is actually completely free. So the Discord itself, we are trading in there, utilizing the LuxAlgo indicators, but also people finding, and sharing strategies using the LuxAlgo indicators in there as well. When you do sign up for a plan, we just hit 100 likes. Thank you guys for that. We hit our daily goal of 100 likes. But in this case, if you do sign up for LuxAlgo, you do get a bit more features inside the LuxAlgo Discord. You can view all those links in the description. So welcome there, Daniel. Appreciate you being here. But yeah, let's see what you talk about, Bitcoin. Yeah, we can look at Bitcoin again. We've been looking at Bitcoin for a while. But in this case, the biggest thing about Bitcoin and what we were talking about was holding over these highs. So on a long-term type of situation, 45K, if we hold that, I think we're really good for a continuation. And in this case, 45.742, if we want to be more exact, somewhere around the 45.80s, 45.90s would be really good to see. You can see we've already bounced off of a decent order block there in the short term. So for now, hopefully we can continue from there. We're going to bring in Mickey here. Seems like he's just now connected. So bear with me. Real quick before we bring in Mickey, somebody did request AMD. Fam was here for the AMD analysis, and here you go. 1 hour. As you can see, we've already rejected a extremely high volume order block. And look, what we talked about before. When you see these order blocks, right? When you see these order blocks showing more significant buyers versus sellers, we think the buyers are exhausted there. Sellers might step in. And guess what we got? Sellers stepped in, and we had this retracement down. The one thing I do like, though, about this is it is getting a retracement, right? This technically could have considered a double top, but price currently doesn't necessarily want to sell off from here. So in this case, if we were to bring that current swing point, we're at the 382. Beautiful bounce there. This is something where if I'm on the long side, I'm holding until I see a full break of that Neo cloud. We're outside of it currently. I would still be holding this AMD. If I were in a long trade, I would be holding. But because we did come off of this reset, look, we rallied. Rejected that same high. But look at reset. It's already trying to bounce again. In this case, if we go and reset, if we go and retest 50 more, I bet you more than likely we will break out of it. Not necessarily have this massive impulse, but we will end up probably breaking that if we definitely test it for pretty much a fourth time. So we'll see if we can get back up there. But for now, you're safe on the long side of AMD. Now, let's go see if we can bring in Mickey here. As you can see, the freaking bottom screen already went away. Let's head over, see if we can bring in Mickey as we're trying to adjust how we're doing things here. Mickey, I see you. Are you there, Mickey? We've got you up now.
Yeah, I'm here.
There he is.
Always. Not going anywhere.
Love it. One sec.
What do we got going?
Let me get those.
Oh, there am I.
There you are. Let me get. There we go. Let me make sure I can get your chart up here. Boom. Okay. That's good for now. But, guys, Fam said he needs a chicken dinner.
I'm hungry. I didn't even eat dinner yesterday.
I know. I'm honestly already getting hungry as well. Real quick, before Mickey goes in, shows us some charts he's looking at, and starting with Bitcoin, of course. Right now, IBIT, 33 million in volume. Beautiful. Hopefully, we get an update on the inflow amount near the end of the day. I don't know if we haven't got anything just yet. I'm looking over at Twitter right now to see if we got anything. So far, I don't see anything too major. I'll keep you updated on that as we continue our analysis. But Mickey is our community manager in the Discord, guys. So when you join the Discord, you will see a lot of Mickey. If you enjoy his analysis, make sure to join the Discord. It's absolutely free, okay? I'm always also in there every once in a while. But Mickey is our main guy in the community, as he is our community manager. But you will see my personal analysis here every Tuesday and Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern. So feel free to tune in then. But Mickey, again, is always inside the Discord. I'm in there every once in a while, but he is in there pretty much 24/7. So, Mickey, what do you got for us, man? I'm going to try to fix up your chart a little bit, too. Make sure you're good, but you are on the screen and you're ready to go, my friend.
Nice. I got this little purple theme going on here. But the first thing I do is, let's take a look at Bitcoin on the price action concepts, right? I got rid of the candy colors for you. Now it's blue and white. No chicken dancing on the screen now, right?
Chicken dancing. What?
But let's get back to Bitcoin. Let's just pretend there is no ETF news, right? It's just a normal day. What am I going to do?
Right.
Right now, this is the 4 hour. I like trading price action concepts and market structure and order blocks. I like swinging them, or I could scalp them, because the 4 hour time frame is kind of like in between, right?
Right.
It's not really, long term, charting like a daily, weekly, or monthly, but it's not really a scalper time frame, like a 15-minute or a 5-minute. So it's kind of like in between. So I use 4 hours to swing it or to scalp it, depending on how price moves, right? I love looking at price when it reaches a key level that was formed in the past, right? So we'll just, we'll go through my watch list and see what I'm looking at right now, right? For Bitcoin, we're going to pretend that there are no news for ETFs. We're just going to, it's like a normal day, right? So as of right now, price is heading into this order block, right? It's heading into this order block, right? What I like to see is it reject off this order block, right? That's one path. Or I want to see this. I want to see a bounce up, right? So as of right now, I'm not seeing anything on Bitcoin right now. If I woke up today and just opened my charts, right now I don't have a play, right? If I woke up 2 hours ago, yes, there was a play, but right now there is no play for me right now. Okay, let's head over to ETH, right? Let's take a look at ETH and what it shows me. Okay, for ETH, no play yet. There are no key levels yet for me. So I'm always flipping through, right? Litecoin. Let's take a look. There was a play about 2 hours ago, right? Here's the play. There's no play right now, but there was a play if I woke up 2 hours ago, right? There's the play, right? It's rejecting. So that was the play, right? Let's head over to Doge. Okay. Now, this is the chart I'm looking at. Out of the four that I'm looking at right now, I am looking for this play. That's not it. I am looking for this. Okay. I am looking for this, right? That's what I'm looking for. Okay. If I wasn't streaming, I'd be heading down to a 15-minute and I'll be looking for a market structure break to the upside, right? To scalp this sucker, right? Depending on how fast this moves, it could be a scalp or it could be a swing, right? Meaning, if I took a long entry here, like on a 15-minute, and the 15-minute changes to bearish market structure, I'm out for the scalp. But if it continues to give me that break of structure, break of support, all the way up to this level, that will be my swing play. This could be a week right here, right? Okay. XRP. What do we got on XRP? Like we mentioned 2 days ago, nothing, right? There's a lot of junk in here. Okay. This would be the play. I'm looking for this. Right. I'm looking for this. Nothing yet. Okay. Sol. What do we got on Sol? Over the weekend, it did pretty good for everyone. Wow. I missed this play. 2 hours ago, if I would have woke up, this was the play. Right? That was the rejection. This would be a beautiful swing. Right? Look at that. Take a look at that. That's your swing move. Right? That's my target. Okay? That's on Sol. I think 2 days ago we talked about SHIB, right? There you go. Let's take a look at SHIB. SHIB. There you go. 2 hours ago. This would be the play, either a scalp or a swing. There's your swing. All right, let's measure that. Wow, this one's juicy. There you go. Okay. All right, that is my watch list on cryptos. Okay.
Interesting, real quick. Some news about.
What's the news? Vanguard changing their minds.
No, actually, Bank of America. Weird enough, Bank of America. I guess
jumping on board.
They not allowing customers to buy any of the ETFs, which is weird. So have any of you guys had issues with buying some of the ETFs today if you're actually purchasing them? It's actually interesting because I'm curious now the inflow with some of these restrictions from these banks, if like it's decreasing quite a bit. So I'm curious.
You know what I'm thinking?
What?
I'm thinking some of these big powerhouses, they're being conflicted on their current policies of their credit cards. Maybe. On their banking side. All right. Because some of these big boys don't allow to be partnered
up. If you work for
up
Discord, they're coming for your job too. A lot of layoffs this year. Have you noticed that? People are like, companies are laying off people like crazy already.
COVID's over.
It's like,
that's it.
Seriously, yeah, they're just hammering them. That's the other thing. Discord's laid off 17%, which is nuts. But biggest thing is Bank of America, guys. So I mean, even let's see, BIC right now down 1.5% on that seems today. So honestly, if you're having trouble with it, I think Robinhood is allowing it. A lot of you guys probably have a Robinhood account, so let's see if you can buy it in there at least. But yeah, go ahead, Mickey. I'm gonna just tune in if I see something interesting to talk about.
Cool. All right. That was crypto. Now let's head over to. I can't end the stream without talking about the Dixie, right? There we go. Dixie and Forex, beautiful play. Yeah, you know, off these order blocks. You know, here, look at that. All right. The play is over. I'm not looking at it making a trade right now because you should be already in the trade with the dollar. Okay. Let's head over to Big Daddy Euro. Yes. All right. Let me go back to the dollar. Correlation. We have a down bar, a bearish bar. Dollar going down. Okay. So let's head over to the euro. The euro be going up. There we go. Okay. Now this is what I'll be watching for. There you go. I want this to hit that order block, and I want to see this. Okay, that'd be a quick scalp. All right, quick scalp or a nice swing play. Swing, meaning next target, order block. That's a good amount of pips. What do we got here? Ooh, boy. 100 pips on that one. If this forms, right? UJ. There we go. You remember the dollar index? The 4-hour candle being bearish? UJ should go down. There's your current play right now. It is busting out of these overlaps. So as of right now, we have a play. I'm going down to a 15-minute, and I'm going to properly manage my short trade right now. Okay, here we go. You're in, you're coming out. We're not out yet, but we're coming out. All right, you either scalp this, or there's your swing. Let's see how many pips. Ooh, Nelly. About 160 pips right there. Okay. Just got a message on my Discord. Well, how do you enter off of this 4-hour, right? There's two ways you can do this. You can just trade with one chart, right? It's going to take a lot of patience for you. A lot of patience, meaning wait for this 4-hour bar to close, and then you enter in that direction. But you got to remember, these are 4-hour bars, right? Depending on your style. Your stomach may not fit well with you in these 4-hour order blocks. But what you can do is take a look at this. We're on the UJ. We flip it back to signals and overlays. All right. Let's head over to a signal overlays chart, right? We'll flip it to UJ. Okay. That is a 4-hour chart we're looking at. There we go. Let me hit the 15-minute, okay? So on the 4-hour chart, it is coming out of an order block. It's being bearish, right? Let's zoom in. Right now, we have a signal down, bearish, right? But it has not broken out of that order block yet, right? But it's about to. There we go. Your play is somewhere in here right now, okay? So that's how I scalp this. Right? Going down to a 15-minute, I'm going to use signals and overlays to validate my direction off the price action concepts, okay? While we're on signals and overlays, let's just trade signals and overlays solely. Let's head over to Bitcoin. I have NeoCloud, my favorite, okay? And I have the signals and overlays Smart Trail. I've changed the settings. The Smart Trail, the Smart Trail, I have it at the lowest, and the NeoCloud, I raised it up a little bit from default. It is set at number 3. Okay, number 3. So let's scan through Bitcoin. Take a look at NeoCloud, right? Throughout all the dumps that happened, right? NeoCloud is showing strong bullish movement, okay? As of right now, on this NeoCloud setting, I do not have a stair step down, okay?
Yes,
well, on
sir.
this chart, I am not looking for a short, right? Even though I got scared out. This is one huge move on Bitcoin, right? But if I was going to swing trade this 4-hour chart, I am not looking for a short, okay? Because we still have Smart Trail, bullish, okay? We have NeoCloud, bullish. We have a bullish signal entry to the long side. Candle colors, bullish, okay? So everything is telling me all bullish, right? No shorts yet.
Yeah,
on this chart.
Gold did touch that imbalance. It's currently trying to bounce off it, so we're C. I mean,
Gold?
see if we get a nice retrace.
Which gold we're looking at, Forex or the futures?
Zenny. I mean, they're the same.
All right, let's say you know, 4-hour chart. We're looking bearish right now. Okay. Well, Mickey, there's a neo cloud bullish. Well, yeah, you're right, but we have stair step.
That long term.
Right. Stair step down the neo cloud. Right. We have a signal down. Okay. We have the candle colors bearish. Okay. So that's how I read the neo cloud. Okay. Stair stepping up and stair stepping down. That's on gold. Right. Let's head over to ETH. Big ETH. Okay.
Finally, with the ETH breakout.
All right.
Beautiful breakout.
All right. For those of you struggling, okay, the play on ETH was a long signal at the market open. As of right now, there is no other play. Okay. But here's a simple concept. Neo Cloud is bullish. You take all the signals going long, right? And you manage your trade. That's it. That is your strategy. Now you build around it. You know, Neo Cloud, right? Neo Cloud. Let me demonstrate here. Right. Neo Cloud is bullish. Okay. You take all of this. Let's just say you blindly took all of these signals. Some of these have broken even. Some of these have made winners, right? Once you enter, you trade management. Find a way to get out safely. Okay. Okay. So that is ETH. Let's go back to
real quick.
Bitcoin.
I'm going to touch on FTM. I forgot to look at FTM earlier for fame. So this one, quite interesting. I was looking at it while you were talking there, Mickey. So this is similar to what we saw on, which one was it? I'm trying to remember. But in this case, again, we talked about, you know, when we're inside this neo cloud, especially on a daily chart, we definitely want to consider.
Ooh, look at that.
A potential, you know, breakdown. But in this case right now, we're still inside of it. The neo's starting to step down, like Mickey was just showing you. But the interesting thing to me is the fact that we have a $1.83 million order block, or million volume order block here at the highs of 50%, above 55 cents. So in this case, like, even though we have this market structure, it did break this swing low, and it is setting up to possibly treat this for the 40s as a bounce. I'm not going to consider a trade on this or a possible breakout so we get above 50 cents. That 50-cent mark, you know, that's that one swing high for that break. I'm not bearish on it yet because the biggest part is the fact that this neo did just flip, and we're also showing support over a pretty key level here, right? So because of that, still worth a hold to continue maybe to go retest that order block. But this is a big thing why we say, especially on some of these like Phantom here, is like the order blocks, you don't want to take them lightly. When price is traded up to an order block, it's something that you want to see react to. And if it does, then it's probably something you want to consider, because as you can see here, once it came off this high, it did have two legs down there. So for FTMO right now, it's something that I would just kind of hold for now and see kind of where it's going to go. Then I guess Cairo, what's your take on Bitcoin again? Two people want your take on Bitcoin. So
me and Bitcoin.
How do you think it's gonna?
Who would have thunk?
Who would have thunk, right? But we got people coming in and out, so we got to make sure we're full on back and forth on Bitcoin for sure. Got to jump back to Bitcoin, see what you're thinking here. And
you guys are making me love crypto.
4 hour to daily. What are you thinking?
All right, there's Bitcoin. There's Bitcoin. Let's reset our head. Okay, take a look at NeoCloud. All this time, right? A simple way. I'm not looking to short this. I don't care what ETF news you got or who's putting out fake tweets. I am just looking at the chart, and I'm going to tune everything out, right? Because if you have a set of rules, a mechanical rule based on your chart, right? Technical analysis, right? Don't even look at Twitter or whatever news, right? Don't let any outside force change, right? If your back test for the past 2 years on your charts, technical analysis shows a certain percentage of winnings and losings, right? Did you take into account all those tweets for the past 2 years? No, you didn't. So don't start now, right? That's just a little advice. Just keep going, right? We don't care who's tweeting what, right? Case in example, NeoCloud is bullish, right? I don't care. We are looking at this. We are looking at this. We are looking at this, this, and this. Okay? That's the latest one so far. Okay? This is what I want to see on Bitcoin. I want to see come down here, go back up, right? I want to also see, where's my, I want to see a bearish signal, which I will not take, but I want to see that. Okay. I want to see that. I would be waiting for this signal for another leg up. Okay. That's on Bitcoin on this chart, regardless what the news is out there saying. Okay. If I tune out all the news, this is what I'm waiting for. Well, Mickey, what if the news brings this down? Okay, so what? So we will just wait. We will just wait for NeoCloud, right, to come down. Okay. I'm going to draw this NeoCloud here, right? That's NeoCloud, right? And this is what I want to see. I want to see there. Okay. Jacob likes to trade on either side of the NeoCloud, right? He doesn't like to trade inside, just like my order blocks, right? This is going to take some time for Bitcoin to change directions for market structure. It may be February, March, April, who knows, right? We don't know. But if Bitcoin takes a turn for the worse, right? I want to see, I'm going to avoid this. Forget about the FOMO. It could be this signal right here. This could be it. I can't take that on this 4 hour because the NeoCloud is still bullish. I want to see price come down. I want to see NeoCloud step down. It can still be blue, but I want to see a step down, right? And then I want to see a market correction to the upside. And then I want to see this.
Hey, Mickey, do you like samurai swords?
Who the hell is asking that question?
The dragon wants to know if you like samurai swords. Real quick, I do want to touch base on, guys, obviously we're live now every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1 Eastern, but I want you guys to make sure you're following the Twitter because we post daily analysis on the Twitter. And as you can see, like here for Bitcoin on January 10th, yesterday, we posted whether or not we wanted to see this bounce off that 44.5 level, which is exactly what we got. So if you want constant updates about what we're watching, and it's not just Bitcoin, it's a lot of these things like Bitcoin, cash, whatever we see a setup on, it's something that we do post on on Twitter here. So like another example, like today, like this morning, like BNB, we talked about, what we've been watching for a while now, just because, we're constantly making sure that you're updated on what's happening. So like, NVIDIA from January 8th, we saw this breakout and then we were looking for that continuation on that. And that's exactly what we got. we have several people running this, so everybody's fully on using our indicators to do their own analysis on the whole thing, right? Walmart. I mean, we're doing stocks, we're doing crypto, we're doing everything to kind of keep you updated. So go follow Twitter at LuxAlgo. You can see Walmart here. Back in December 29th, we posted that we're really liking this $52 level, $152 level on Walmart. From then, it's now traded through 160. So make sure you go follow that. We'll constantly keep you updated. That way you're not just worried about coming and tuning in on the stream, since we only do it twice a week. So yes, go into the Twitter at LuxAlgo. And yeah, Mickey, what you got now? You got PLT1? Oh, you looking at platinum over there?
My secret. Supposed to, you weren't supposed to see that.
Oh, Mickey's trading platinum.
Oh,
Isn't that platinum?
yeah. All right,
Yeah.
since you saw it before
Platinum
I flipped the
futures,
screen.
That's funny. Hey,
All right.
good power to you. It's trading the same as gold, so we don't care. It's gold, platinum.
All right, here's platinum. Right.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm actually I want to swing platinum throughout the rest of the year. Okay.
That's not bad.
Because I looked at platinum all
Look,
last year.
okay, so he was right about the whole samurai thing. He must like samurai swords.
Actually, I do have. I think I have 6 of them in the garage somewhere.
Wait, really? That's awesome.
You know, at nighttime, you know, Gotham City, someone needs to go out there and start
Right.
cleaning house, right? But
Love it.
you remember what I said about Bitcoin? If it takes a turn for the worse, right? If it takes the turn for the worse, I want to see a rejection
Yes.
coming down stair step. Well, here you go. I actually did not have to draw that on Bitcoin. You have it right here.
Right. Yeah.
You have it right here, right? I wouldn't take this, even though you'd be paying all your friends' mortgages, right? I need to see a break
Cash it
below, right? Let's enlarge this. Want to see a break below? Correction. Boom. Right? So there was the play. Okay? Right here. Somewhere in here. Right? That's your current position right now. Okay? So that's platinum. Let's head over to platinum price action concepts. Okay? Now you take that NeoCloud concept, right? Break below the NeoCloud, pull back, and then a continuation to the downside. Price action concept does the same thing. Market structure. Okay? There we go. All right? We're going up, right? Boss, boss, boss. Okay? We're right here. Okay? Change of market structure right here. Okay? This chach. Okay? Retracement, right? Remember? Retracement back into the NeoCloud. You remember that? Okay? Now it comes back down. Okay? So that's how we play this. Okay? So, target reached. Right? So we go back here. Let's just say you entered right here. Well, why don't we do this? Let's overlay. Let's overlay this sucker. There you go. Okay. Target reached. Daily order block. Right? You entered right here. All for that correction of price action concepts chart, right? 291. Let's just say you didn't get all of it. Let's just say you were late. You got in here. And let's just say you got scared somewhere in there. 200, right? Not too bad. So that's platinum. Okay. Yeah, I know, right? Let's go over.
Actually, another thing I just saw interesting. 2 things. We were talking about the options possibly coming into the Bitcoin ETFs, but Grayscale filed for Bitcoin covered calls. So that's going to be interesting to see. I honestly, for IBIT, I think we'd probably see options by the end of the month. It'd be really cool to be able to trade those very soon. I think for Coinbase is pretty quickly. I was going to do some research on that here in just a sec. The other thing was BlackRock's trying to get an Ethereum ETF as well. So that's something to pay attention to. Obviously, with this breakthrough with the Bitcoin ETF, we're probably going to start seeing a lot of these other major coins like Ethereum, potentially Solana, some of these other ones trying to get ETFs as well. So that would be awesome to be able to trade all of these on the U.S. Exchanges, which would be next level for any of you guys that want to invest in crypto. Maybe don't want to necessarily put your money into the actual blockchain, but on the ETF side of things. I personally like it a lot because of the options trading side of things. It's going to be a lot easier to quickly invest in for long-term options versus, going and finding, a way to secretly trade perpetual futures, which is, a whole, kind of crazy way to trade. But in this case, these ETFs coming in, being able to trade options, is going to be really, really cool coming into the end of this year. So hopefully we get them sooner rather than later. But what were you about to do there, Mickey? You look at that copper now. It's doing all the assets.
Hey, right? Mickey's tips and tricks, right? Can't make this stuff
SHIB
up.
ETF, that'd be cool. You want a SHIB ETF, Mickey?
SHIB ETF.
Doge ETF.
All right. But let me go back to this example here.
Yeah, they'll
Here's this
improve anything
example.
they could sell, right?
Here's this example on Bitcoin, right? I want to see a stair step down on NeoCloud or a shift change on NeoCloud. And I want to see, a pullback and then a continuation, right? So there's several symbols that I've showed after that it actually occurred, right? Copper. This is it. Picture perfect, right? 4 hour, NeoCloud up, right? Signal down. I'm not taking this yet, right? Now it breaks below the NeoCloud. Here's your correction. Here is your correction with stair step down. This is it, folks, right? This is it. Right now. Okay? Well, how do I enter? Oh, this is what you do. I bring it down to a lower time frame, right? This is it. Okay. I'm waiting for the smart trail to flip back over, right? I want to see smart trail flip back over. Okay. There you go. That's it. Where's your target? Your target could be a signals and overlays exit signal, right? Or order blocks. Let's add some daily. This is a 15-minute. Let's add a 4-hour order block, right? We're at the 4-hour order block. Okay. So this will be a scalp. Remember what I told you? Depending on where it's at, this will be a scalp. Okay. So that's copper. All right. Let's see what we got. Anything in chat? Nothing? Okay, let's go down to my list here. What else? Silver?
Have you looked at
What do we look?
you look at Solana yet?
Solana. Oh, there we go. There you go. I need to wait. It's going to happen probably, right?
Let's see.
I would love to see that on the 4-hour Solana. I would love to see that. I would love to see NeoCloud flip. Okay, to the downside. Okay. So that's Solana right now. All right. I'm not, I wouldn't be in a trade right now. I want to see a retracement down because we already have this signal to the upside, right? I want to see a signal to the downside and I'll scalp this sucker, right? Because take a look at the matrix. Take a look at the matrix. Money flow is still bearish. Even though we got this move to the upside, it's still bearish. But take a look at the turning points, the hyperwave. It's going way up. Even though it's going way up, price didn't really go way up yet. All right? I am looking for hyperwave to go down. All right? With a turning point somewhere here. Let me draw a turning point. There. All right? If I get that turning point with money flow bearish and I get a signal, you know, right here, if I get the signal going down, right? Smart trail flipping, guess what? I'm in. I'm scalping this winner, whatever, chicken dinner, right? So that's Solana. Okay.
Real quick, I want to pull up the halving chart talking about Bitcoin because it's coming up. Remember, guys, we have roughly 96 days until the until the blocks are completed. We get 14,600 plus blocks left.
Who's going to buy the rest?
Now, on the chart, obviously, it's predicting somewhere in what is it? What's the date? The full-on date? Oh yeah, April 19th. Sorry, is predicting somewhere on April 19th. We're gonna look at previous halvings, right? How did we do like per the halving? Obviously, the first halving we had that massive increase. That's probably the biggest one that we've had. But the second to biggest one was actually the last one. We had a 423% increase. Now, thanks to this guy Puka Charts on TradingView. If you're in the chat, thank you for making this to make it really easy to understand. But you'll see here coming into this, will we get that increase coming up until obviously the halving? Right now, we're starting to see that increase already. So obviously the last time this was updated on January 2nd in the chart current state, we've broken through that 50K. So we're sitting somewhere around, this level right here. So, come April, hopefully we can get and be above that 50K, right? We'll see the full-on increase. He's saying 50% increase. The only thing I don't like about that is it's less than the last halving. As you can see, the second halving was 110% increase, and then 76% increase, and then now down to 50% increase. Hopefully that pattern doesn't continue. It's something that we definitely want to watch for. But come past the halving, end of this year or a year after April, from April 2024 to April 2025, do you think we're going to kind of create, these massive increases like we've had before? That's the real question. But essentially, we're on the right path so far. So with the 96 days out, roughly predicted date of April 19th, maybe we'll get a nice pump into that. So stay tuned to see actually where we're going to come from a year out, April wise, into this year. If we go back on the chart actually and look at Bitcoin, and also we do have the ETFs climbing a bit here. You can see Mara today finally coming back out of that, but that means Bitcoin finally found a little bit of its support for the day. But if we were to come into Bitcoin here and let me make sure I get the right one. I do want to look at last April to kind of see what we'd be coming from. Should be, hold on. Oh, sorry, I'm in the weekly here. May. There it is. Boom. So April, right? Let's say the predicted date is roughly the 18th, so it'd be this week. If we were to pull, a percentage move from that April move here, halving, is coming end of this April. I mean, that'd be an awesome increase. Right now, we're already up nearly 70%. So going into April of this year, if we get that breakthrough 50K, it'd be an 80% increase. So if we go back and look here, 110%, 76%. Hopefully it's above last year's percentage last halving's percentage, because if we do get that, then we're looking really strong possibly for that continuation. But yeah, so I guess Mickey, you got some requests there for Bonk and Google and Amazon. whichever one you're feeling there. Honestly, maybe take a look at Google or Amazon, because we actually, Edward, let me just jump over to this real quick. If you're following our Twitter, we actually just posted an analysis on Google here. So setting up for another bullish run on the daily chart. We're noticing a retrace and test off of that wedge there and bouncing, and it's broken out today. So let's see if we get that continuation from there. But man, breakout already. Will it continue? Let's see. 142's there if it wants to go off of that. But yeah, if you want to go check out Amazon or Bonk for sure.
Yeah, I'll check those out, and then you can close it out pretty soon, right?
Take us away. Yeah, we got about 20 minutes. We still got
All right, Google. Here's my Google chart.
Maybe a little less than that actually, because
all right. Google 4 hour. Right. Let's zoom out a little bit. There you go. Right. So it looks like an uptrend, right? Right. But it's kind of ranging here. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? Right here, this box right here. All right, back and forth, right? So, what would I do with Google right now? Okay. I want to see Google, since this is a range, right? Well, it's ranging. I want to see Google come back down to the Neo Cloud, bust back up, and break this high. All right, I want to break that high. I want to see signal. We should get a signal down somewhere in here. All right. After that, we're going to get something here. Okay.
Bonk.
There you go. Bonk, right? What is bonk? Let me, I guess I'll add that to my list. B01K?
Oh, it's kind of moving a little bit right now.
What is bonk?
Yeah, it's moving.
Which one? This one?
Do the Coinbase one. Jeez, bonk. Coinbase one's gonna have good volume.
Oh, what is this?
if you want to look at a higher time frame, then do.
Wow, look at that. What is that?
If you want to do a higher time frame, do either Binance or. You're probably going to get the most out of Bybit. Yeah, Bybit's going to be the one to do. Actually, do Bybit. Yeah, that one. Yep. Or, yeah, there you go. You'll get a lot more data.
You know what? This chart actually looks good.
It's a Solana meme coin. Yeah, it's on the Solana network.
This chart, again, I don't know about the volume or whatnot or any history behind it, but based on this chart, I'm all over this. I'd be going somewhere here. 5 minutes, right? All right, let's do this. Let's do this. Off of every signal. Okay. Here's a strategy. We have a long signal. Okay.
I mean, wow. This thing.
Long signal here.
This thing's played out.
Okay. When this long signal printed, look at my cursor. Look at my global cursor. Right? Right there. This is where it started. Okay? Right there. So we go down in a lower time frame. Everyone, listen up. This is your strategy. Okay? Signal, smart trail up. Okay? On Bonk, 4 hour. Lower time frame. I'm only looking for longs. Right? So what am I looking for? I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this. Looking at this. 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 Okay. And then I'm looking at this. Okay. Not all of them are going to be winners, right? You can't take these blindly, but you are on the safe side of the trade, right? Learn how to take your small losses, right? Learn how to take your small losses. But let's zoom in. This smart trail confirmed. This smart trail confirmed right there. Okay. On the past existing signal, AI signal 3, which is pretty strong. all right? Came back down, hit Neo Cloud. There is no stair step down, all right? Now it's going back up. Smart Trail flipped back to the upside, and look how far it pumped, all right? I don't know bonk, but if you entered right there, where are we at right there? We're right there.
Another interesting thing too, I'm gonna flip over real fast.
Yeah.
Is, I mean, we talk about the fib a lot, especially when I'm looking at it. 15-minute chart, that fib from that swing low. Look where it bounced. Bounced right off that.
All right. We're right here, right?
618, right off the order block as well. So this is what we were saying about if you can compare fibs with something like the Neo or the Smart Trail as well. And so when it exits out of these things, like he was just saying, you can have possibly a really aggressive move back to a high or a low, depending on how it's set up. But for honestly, if you guys just trade Fibonacci's, like this with the order block, or even the boom. So in this case, bouncing off the order block, which lined up to be at the 618 level, pretty much is in the cards for a pretty good bounce, so long as it shows that good volume. So they're beautiful bounce, and now you can see it's paying off accordingly. So I just wanted to point that out on the Fibonacci there.
I'll point something else out too.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, here's my chart. All right, let's just say we used the fib, like he said, from there to there. All right, that's your fib. Okay. There's the 50, there's the 70. I like 70s and 80s, right? But anything below 50 is a good discount area to take a long shot. Okay. But we just can't take it blindly, right? We just can't set a limit order of 50 and let me go, right? Find reasons to take an entry somewhere in here, right? What is your reason? Your reason could be a Neo Cloud bullish, right? But if you're using price action concepts, what do I see here? What do I see there? Okay. Anyone want to type in the chat? What do you see? Fair value gap. Right there. There you go. Okay. There's your play. Hits the fair value gap. Now it's going higher. Okay. So there's your fib play. You know, you're validating reasons within your golden pocket. Could be an order block, or it could be an imbalance like the fair value gap I just showed you. Okay. But look at this move as we're talking. Man, that's a pretty good one. Yeah. Good job on bonk. All right. Let's head back. What?
Let me see. I'm looking at this. Hold on.
Bonk.
This is what we were talking about earlier with these volume profiles.
Uh-oh, you got something there? The node?
In this case, we're breaking out of that value range. You know, when you break out of those high volume nodes there, then you normally get a decent amount of pressure to one side. So in this case, it is kind of still high volume. I would say if you get over that 1.7, the 1.7 level, you're probably going to be a little more aggressive on that. Sorry, I'm away from the mic, but breaking out of that value range there in the current session. So nice little yeah, sorry, I was away.
No, saying, good. Yeah.
No, my mic, I was sitting away from it, but I was saying we're finally getting out of that high volume node there. So there's going to be less liquidity as it's approaching these highs, so you more than likely should see decent buying pressure coming out of this rather than trading in between this. So because of that, we'll see if we can, break out, touch that high there. I was going to see something else, but a big thing here was that breaking out of the that order block there. We're approaching, we're a bit over 2 hours here. Mickey, is there any last thing you want to look at? We got 13 minutes left on the clock. I do have to fix that clock, so just ignore the clock for now. We are coming close to the end though.
No, unless someone has a last minute symbol they want you or me to go over.
Yeah, if you guys want to go over anything else really fast, just let us know. Happy to do so. Bitcoin, like we said, we really like it on the daily. If we look at Bitcoin kind of one more time, the daily, like we talked about multiple times, We like to see it trading above the NEO, right? So we've been trading above the NEO, holding support above the NEO for a while now, especially on the daily chart. We're not looking short on this until it breaks that NEO cloud. We're continuing to step up, which is really big here as well. And we're continuing. We've been in a trend continuation signal. If I were to turn on the AI signals, we get a confirmation. Our sensitivity needs to be 17. So it's asking for. But again, boom, 3 trend continuation signal. That's very strong for something that we're looking for the next breakout. You can see that's exactly what occurred. So there you go. You had this 3 this 3 beginning signal, a 2 to say, hey, you know, this might be the top for a temporary amount of time. We got that 3 signal again, and now we're continuing. This is something that I will always follow trend-wise if I'm going to. FBTC, by the way, is the one of the Fidelity ETFs. You can see it is currently kind of, they found a price point in which people enjoy buying it at. But if we were to look real quick at IBIT to see how it's playing off, on to see the volume, 35 million volume as it's trying to break out. Nathan, we can look at the NQ lower time frame. Mickey, if you want to pull that up in the background to go over like a 5 to 15 minute on the NASDAQ.
Yeah,
because that's probably something you look at quite a bit as well as I do too. But let me look at Rivian actually. Yeah, real quick, Rivian. Stock wise, in this case, Rivian isn't a EV stock. Sorry, I was trying to think of what we call it, but it's an EV stock. So a lot of these EVs, if you ever trade new tech, by the way, guys, if you trade new tech and you get in early and you are able to cash in on a really big run like this, like even at the beginning here. So this is like trading, IPOs 101, okay? If you buy an IPO, okay, and you get an immediate gain of 50, 30, probably 30% and above, I would always suggest to sell it. Get out of it and then wait, okay? Wait for value to actually come to a state in which it's agreed upon between buyers and sellers, because a lot of these EV stocks, and you can learn your lesson if you look at any of them. Like if you even look at NEO, let's go to the weekly on. Let's go to the weekly on NEO. Like NEO here. Here you go. This is what I was talking about. If you ever, in this case here, didn't really move much, but look what happened, right? This is for any type of IPO. This thing ran 700%, right? In this case, if you ever get above 100, 200%, just cash out. I promise you, a majority of the time, these stocks are going to settle off. They're going to find a value in which they want to come off of these highs, because that is an extremely overvalued state. Same thing with like Coinbase. The hype of Coinbase was crazy on IPO, and you can see all it did was sell off. This didn't even have a profit in which you could have traded. Now, early on, if you would have traded it back in like the October of the same year that it IPO'd, it had that little run, but then again sold off. In this current state, it's finally showing us a better value. But $142 for Coinbase, especially being a new IPO, makes a lot more sense than like a $350, $400 value, because it got extremely hyped up. So that's something just to remember when you're trading newer things. Same even with some of these coins that are being traded on Bybit and like PancakeSwap and all that. It's like, understand that they're gonna only get pumped for a brief period of time. And Doge, another example, these are all hype coins. They should honestly be called hype coins, because in this case, you get the hype, you ride the hype. If you think you're making massive profits, then you are, of course, obviously you're making massive profits, but it eventually is going to go away. It's not something that sticks around for that long until it finds the value in which it actually wants to be traded. So someone mentioned Riot, Rivian. Let me just look actually at that to give you a quick analysis on it. We're going to do the 4 hour as a stock. For now, I would be bearish on Rivian if I were to pull up like the sensitivity. We're in a 3 trend continuation signal, right? Bearish Neo Cloud, right? This is not something that I would consider buying at the moment. I would probably be short until it probably retests this range here. And that's a pretty big 22% range. But coming in below $18, that's when I would start considering a potential buy on Rivian. Apple, I like short, Edward. I like the downside on Apple. Microsoft overtook Apple on market cap today. Apple, same type of situation. It's currently rejecting the Neo Cloud. This is why I like it. Short here, rejecting Neo Cloud. You have the 2 signal, which is technically in my opinion, I consider as a take profit if for its first initial run. If you get a 3 trend continuation signal, that's bearish, right? I think we're going to hit sub 180 on Apple, but see if it can stay on this page. See if it can hold below the 185-ish level, but I do like it to at least retest the 180s. But do you want Mickey to, let me look at Riot real quick, and then Mickey's going to look over the same thing here, bearish on Riot. I know Riot is also a crypto-based, I think, company. Daily chart, it's breaking below that bullish Neo Cloud. Again, that to us is very bearish. Weekly chart is just same type of situation. If you ever, again, get in one of these stocks and they do that, they do these spikes that are just, oh my goodness. Forgot about Riot. They do these crazy spikes. If it seems too good to be true, it's because it probably is. So in this case, make sure that you get out when you have the chance, especially on these very aggressive spikes, something like this. If it goes in a few months from $4 to $70, $80, it's probably not going to be there that long. As you can see now, it's been trading back and forth. That's the weekly. Daily, I'm bearish. 4 hour, I'm bearish. Right now, I would say you probably want to head back to this high volume area, which is the sub $12 range. But Mickey's going to go over the NQ real quick on a lower time frame, probably 5-minute, both of those. And then we will close out, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Remember, Tuesday and Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern. But we'll keep you updated if we stream more than that. Mickey, what you got?
All right, NQ. Let's head over to the 1 second chart. No, I'm just joking.
Some people trade it.
I did last week. But all right, 5-minute chart. Okay, before I head over to the 5-minute chart, this is how I trade the 5-minute chart. Right, I look at the 4 hour. I will always use the 4 hour as my base. Right, 4 hour chart. We are currently in uptrend, smart trail. Okay, all right, let me circle here. I'm going to demonstrate, make sure it's global. All right, actually, let me do the box because these are long wicks. All right. Right there. Somewhere in this box, I'm only looking for longs on the 15-minute. Right? I mean, on the 5-minute. It's over to 5-minute. Okay. Let's squish it down a little bit. Okay. There is your 4 hour smart trail. Bullish. I'm looking for longs. Okay. So since this is a lower time frame, I want to see everything influence. Okay. Neo Cloud, bullish. Smart Trail, bullish. Right here. Entry. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Here's another one. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Okay. And you can take these other ones too, depending on your rules, right? You're on the right side of the trade, at least. You're not getting wrecked or blown out. You're not blowing out your account. You're not blowing out your challenge account or prop firm account. Okay. At least you're going in the right direction, right? Here's another winner, okay? Here's another winner. There's no green bars here, right? There's another winner. All these winners, okay? Now, 4 hour smart trail is still bullish. Now we're getting some hesitation, right? Okay. This is Neo Cloud bearish. I'm not taking any of these trades. Here you go. I want to see a retest off this Neo come back up. And we may have it right here. It's pumping right now. All right. All right. I want to see Smart Trail flip to the upside. Then I'm in. Okay. So that is NASDAQ on the 5-minute. That is how I trade. Amen. What's the target? Target level could be right here. This high. All right. How many ticks? Let's just say Smart Trail flipped here. 292 ticks, right, on the NASDAQ. Do the math. What's each tick on one NASDAQ? $5? There you go. Right? That's your whole month right there. Okay. Any other symbols that we've forgotten other than NASDAQ on the lower time frame? I want to get back to Brad's question on back testers. Yes or no? Okay. I will be doing some Discord lives pretty soon, not sure when, maybe sometime next week, and cross your fingers, we may have some guest speakers to go over quickly on the back testers with the settings, whatnot. Okay, so that's in the works. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. What else we got going on here? Edward, Apple 4 hour. Okay. Apple 4 hour. This could be the last one. Okay. Apple 4 hour. Where's my Apple? Where's my Apple? There's my Apple. Okay, that's the 5-minute. That's pretty good looking 5-minute. There's the 4 hour. Beautiful. Again. Jacob, did you make this stuff up? There we go.
No, but I've been short Apple, I'll tell you that.
There you go. Neo Cloud flip, stair step. Okay. Guess what? We are on high alert right now. We are on high alert to take an entry. Everything is going in your favor. Look at smart. Look at this. Turning point down. Money flow. Bearish. I'm waiting for the signal to go down here on the 4 hour. There you go. Okay. Where's the target? Let's just say I didn't use order blocks. You could just visually see. Okay, let's see. Where's my target? I want this. There.
I don't know if we'll see that much.
I know, right? Well, that's the target. That's the
That'd be awesome.
target, right?
I will
here's
say
another target.
I will say I will never trade again if Apple could hit 167.
There's another target. All right. There you go. I'm just looking at charts. I'm not looking at fundamentals or earnings or any tweet.
Who
news,
knows?
right?
It's possible. It's possible.
Yeah,
Apple 160.
For that chart, guess what?
It's very possible.
I'm buying some Apple down here.
I mean, it's all last year.
But
low.
I know. But
low.
Is that realistic? I don't know. Let's hit the daily chart. I don't know.
Could be.
That is a major level. If we crack this, oh dear Lord.
We got earnings. Earnings coming up in February. So
right, yeah. Right. You know, maybe it's being priced in earnings, right? There you go.
Gosh.
If we can get that, right? Boom.
Disappeared.
There you go. Okay.
Oh man, all right, Mickey. Well, we
That's
got
it.
30. We pretty much just capped out the clock, so I guess we just leave it at that. Guys, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. Real fast, make sure that below the live stream right now, if you go down there, you know, you can check out the website. You can check out the website with all the indicators and stuff we've been going over today. But join the Discord server. It's completely free. Mickey is in there 24/7 posting charts, answering questions. Like he just said, we are going to start doing a private stream in the Discord, going over features and
Who's doing that?
and updating you guys on how to use the backtester, stuff like that. We'll bring in special guests, possibly developers. But again, we want to make sure that you guys are getting the most information you can about LuxAlgo. But on the stream, we want to just leave it about trading, looking at charts, keeping you guys updated on what's going on in the markets, and all our overall analysis and going over with the indicators is going to be on those private streams. So join the Discord. It's completely free. When you do sign up for the indicators, though, you do get a special members area with members resources, stuff like that, that help with understanding the best trading strategies using the indicators and so on. But other than that, you can also check out all the 100 plus free indicators we have Link is in the description of this live stream. But other than that, guys, thank you, Mickey. Mickey will be in the group chat with you guys. Mickey, I'll see you on Tuesday with the stream. Appreciate you being here
Absolutely.
yet again. But yeah, guys, in this case, you know, crazy day, historic day with Bitcoin, and going about, you know, whether or not we are going to be breaking out with the halving coming up in 100 days. Real fast, if you bear with me here, I do want to bring over, one sec, this, bear with me on the end screen here, bring this over. Yeah, sorry, I want to make sure that, let's go to now, back to the editor, sorry. I do want to look at some things really quickly, and I'll adjust all that later. But in this case, from what we talked about, looking at some news that came in real fast before we leave. Where did it go? Yeah, let me just touch on this one more time. Halving, like we talked about, 96 days out, right? Or 96 days from the halving. It's April 19th. Remember, based on the chart that we just looked at, with the halving, we were looking to see before the halving if we could get above that 76% increase that we got last halving we had back in 2020. So if we can get above a 76% increase, I think we're going to look really good for the year following the halving, which means last year after that, or the last halving after it, we had a 423% increase. The second halving, we had a 283% increase, and the first halving, we had a 7,000% increase. So long as we can stay on track, maybe see 50%. Right now, we're sitting at roughly 60%, so we're looking really good for that increase up until the halving. Hopefully, we can continue that trend and stay roughly 60, 50% or higher than that. I really want us to be around what we were before, around the 76% a year out from the halving. So a year ago from April, that's coming up, which is the predicted date of April 19th. So in that case, if we can get roughly that 50% increase or higher, I think we're looking really good for the year after this halving. So prepare for that. Upon that 200% increase would be roughly close to 100,000 by a year from this April. So April of 2025, we might see that 100K mark, which would be outstanding. But other than that, going over the current economic calendar really fast before I leave you guys, we are seeing that today. Remember, CPI beat, so that means that's good for the US dollar. The market did come off of that. Closing numbers, you can see still break even. US 30 is break even. The US 500 break even. SP 500 pretty much break even on the day. Dollar index a little in the green. NASDAQ also break even. Commodities front, natural gas has absolutely been cranking because of the cold weather that's been hitting our country. And then crude oil is also up today. Remember, the 70s we really like as a core value for this first quarter on crude oil. We're seeing if we can maybe get a continuation into the high 70s. That's something we've been waiting on and seeing if we want to break out of that. But come end of this week, after CPI, we do have PPI tomorrow. Okay, that's at 8:30, so an hour before market open. That's something that you just want to pay attention to, see if we get any reaction. A lot of times it's nothing too crazy, but again, it's a 3-star news event, something that you definitely want to keep an eye on. 8:30 tomorrow, PPI. Going into next week, I'm not going to see you guys till Tuesday, so let's look. Monday, absolutely nothing. Oh, forgot about that. Monday is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, so we'll have really low volume. Probably, maybe on Friday. I don't actually know. Sometimes, people go off early, especially if they get a Monday off. So we might have low volume going into tomorrow. So be ready for that. Maybe, volume might die off a lot sooner because of Martin Luther King Jr. on Monday. But going into Tuesday, volume should kick back up. We got retail sales 8:30 on Wednesday. And then looks pretty, let me see. We don't have anything. We have some auctions coming out next week. Home sales on Friday. So we'll talk about that obviously next week. But for now, again, enjoy the long weekend, and we'll see you guys back here come. I'm just gonna go ahead and take this off. See you guys back here on Tuesday. Take time off on Monday. Have fun with your family. Hopefully, obviously, Bitcoin trades around the clock, so hopefully we get that continuation and maybe 50K. We'll keep you updated. Remember, follow the Twitter. We're constantly posting updates on there, giving you trade ideas, things like that. We want to make sure you're constantly updated. So check it out, LuxAlgo on Twitter, and we will see you guys on Tuesday. Thanks for tuning in, and see you very, very soon. Have a nice weekend. Bye.